So what did we see in the video? Well, they were sitting outside and there was a possibility of a fire in the kitchen, but smoke detector alarmed them in time so that they could avoid any damage. So this happened because there was a smoke detector installed in the kitchen. So how does the smoke detector work? How does smoke detector identify smoke and alarm people? Well, the working of smoke detector is based on the release of alpha particles by a radioactive element. So what exactly is alpha particle and how is it released? We'll understand with an example. So we have a nucleus here, uranium-238 nucleus. Now uranium-238 has an unstable nucleus, so definitely it will undergo radioactive decay. So what exactly happens when it undergoes radioactive decay? Well, when a decay event occurs, then it releases an alpha particle. Now this alpha particle looks something like this, that is, it has 4 nucleons. So let's understand what exactly is this alpha particle and what are its properties. So when a nucleus is unstable due to too many protons, then alpha decay occurs, releasing alpha particles and energy. So whenever a nucleus has too many protons, then it releases an alpha particle, and as a result it tries to reduce the number of protons in the nucleus and it tries to achieve a stable state. So when alpha particle is released, we have 2 protons and 2 neutrons. So an alpha particle contains 2 protons and 2 neutrons that is released by an unstable nucleus. So an alpha particle has 2 protons and 2 neutrons, as you can see, and it is positively charged. Now why is it positively charged? Well, because we have 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Now neutrons are neutral, they don't have any charge, while protons have a positive charge. So in whole, the alpha particle is positively charged. So an alpha particle has 2 protons and 2 neutrons and it is positively charged. Now when the decay event occurs and an alpha particle is released, in this case we have uranium-238 which transforms to thorium-234. Why does it happen? Because now we have 2 protons less, which means that the atomic number has changed. We have 2 protons less. So initially the atomic number was 92, and after alpha particle is released we have 2 protons less, so now atomic number is 90, and atomic number is what defines an element. So as atomic number changes, the element changes. So now it is no more uranium, it is thorium. So when uranium undergoes decay, then the nucleus loses 2 protons, atomic number changes, and we have a new element. So every time whenever a radioactive decay will occur in which an alpha particle will be released, we'll have a new nucleus which will have 2 protons less. And if we write this in the form of an equation, we can write this as uranium-238 undergoes decay and it gives thorium-234 with atomic number 90, plus we have an alpha particle which has been released, and this is accompanied by release of energy. So this is the entire equation. This is how you will write equation for an alpha decay. Now you have to notice that here we have written alpha particle. This can also be written as helium, that is helium with atomic number 2. So what we have, uranium-238 gives thorium-234, helium-4 and energy. Now you must be thinking, why am I writing helium in place of alpha particle? Well, there is a reason. Alpha particles are same as helium nucleus. It is represented as helium 4 or helium 2 plus, because if you see, this is a helium atom. Now this is the nucleus and these are the electrons which are orbiting around the nucleus. Now in the case of alpha particle, this is the structure. We have 2 protons and 2 neutrons. In the nucleus of helium also we have 2 protons and 2 neutrons. So alpha particle is same as nucleus of a helium atom, and as a result we write alpha particle in the form of helium, that is helium 4, helium with mass number 4 and atomic number 2, because it is exactly same as the helium nucleus. So alpha particle is also written as helium. Now another point to notice is that in the case of helium and alpha particles, the nucleus is same. Only difference is that alpha particle does not have any electrons orbiting it. So both are helium nucleus, but while this is a neutral atom, this is positively charged, that is it lacks 2 electrons, and that is why we also write it as helium plus plus, because both are same, that is both are helium nucleus, but one is positively charged because of the lack of electrons, and that's why alpha particles are also written as helium plus plus. Now let's understand some more properties of alpha particles. Mass of alpha particles is 4 times that of a proton. It's very simple. We have 4 nucleons. As a result, it is 4 times that of a proton, which is 6.68 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilograms. And the charge is 2 times that of a proton. Again, it's very simple. We have 2 protons. As a result, charge is twice that of a proton. That is 3.2 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. Now another important property is that alpha particle strongly ionizes the gas through which it passes. Now what do we mean by ionization? Well, a neutral atom, when it converts to a positive or a negative ion, then we call it ionization. So how does alpha particle ionize an atom? So when an alpha particle passes through a medium, then it interacts with the particles of the medium, and because it has a positive charge, it influences the electrons of those atoms, and when it attracts the electrons of those atoms, then the atoms become positively charged, so they are converted into ions. So what exactly is alpha particle doing? It's basically ionizing the particles of the medium or atoms in the medium, isn't it? And that is why we say alpha particle strongly ionizes the gas through which it passes. So because of a very high positive charge, it is able to attract electrons from atoms even from a distance, and that is why it has a very high ionization capability. Now slower speed allows it more time to interact with atoms of the medium. So alpha particle moves very slowly because it has a very high mass, and when it moves slowly, it gets more time to interact with particles of the medium, and as a result it is able to attract the electrons and ionize the particles in the medium. Also, strong positive charge enables it to influence an electron from a distance, and since it has a very strong positive charge, it is able to attract electrons from a distance, and as a result alpha particles have very high ionization capability. Now the same ionization property of alpha particles is used in fire alarms. So how does it work? Well, this is a working diagram of the fire alarm. Now as you can see, there is a bell and there is this entire circuit. Now this bell will ring only when this circuit is broken. But a very important point to notice is that this circuit has two terminals here which are not connected to each other. Then how is this circuit completed? Well, with the help of alpha particles, or we can say that ionization property of alpha particles. So when alpha particles are allowed to pass through this region, then what happens? Well, alpha particles have very strong ionization capability. So alpha particles ionize the air particles in this region. And when air particles are ionized, what exactly happens? Well, we have a lot of ions in this region, and these ions allow a very small flow of electricity in this region or between these two terminals, and so the circuit is completed. So the circuit is completed because of the ionization property of alpha particles. Now when fire occurs, then what exactly happens? Well, at that point a lot of smoke enters through this region, and when smoke enters into this particular region, then it interferes with the ionization process. That is, the ions are neutralized. So the smoke neutralizes the ions and the circuit breaks. And as soon as the circuit breaks, the bell starts ringing. It means that the smoke has entered into this particular circuit, and so bell rings and we know that there is a fire. So you see, the ionization property of alpha particles is used in fire alarms. Now another important property is that alpha particles have low penetration power. So why does that happen? Well, due to high interaction capability with the atoms of the medium, it loses energy rapidly and is not able to travel far. So what happens is that because of very heavy mass and constant interaction with particles of the medium, it loses energy rapidly, and as it loses energy rapidly, it is not able to travel far, and that is why it can penetrate only through 3 to 8 centimeter in air. So alpha particle can be stopped even by a thin sheet of paper, while other radioactive radiations can even penetrate aluminum, and some can only be stopped by lead. Now let's understand equation of alpha decay. So we have a radioactive element X. Now it has a mass number A and atomic number Z. So what will be the equation for alpha decay? We can write it as this. So this is the parent nucleus with mass number A and atomic number Z. Now when it undergoes alpha decay, then it will release an alpha particle which is written as helium, mass number 4, atomic number 2. And now this nucleus has changed because it has released 2 protons and 2 neutrons. So now the new nucleus has a different configuration. Its mass number is 4 less than the parent nucleus. So mass number is now A minus 4, and the atomic number is 2 less than the parent nucleus because it has lost 2 protons. So atomic number is nothing but number of protons. So it is Z minus 2. So what is mass number? Number of nucleons. How many nucleons did parent nucleus lose? 4. That is why mass number is decreased by 4. While atomic number is the number of protons. How many protons did the parent nucleus lose? 2. That is why atomic number is 2 less than the original. So what is the configuration of the daughter nucleus? Well, it is mass number A minus 4 and atomic number Z minus 2. So resulting nucleus has 2 protons and 2 neutrons less than the original nucleus, and as the atomic number is changing, as a result we have a new element. So now that you have understood how the calculation works, can you answer this question? Element thorium undergoes alpha decay to give a new nucleus. Mass number and atomic number of the new nucleus will be, so we have thorium whose mass number is 232 and atomic number is 90. Now it gives us a new element whose mass number is A and atomic number is Z. It has also released an alpha particle and energy. So what will be the mass number and atomic number of the new element? Will it be 228 and 88? Will it be 230 and 86? Will it be 88 and 230? What will be the right answer? What do you think? Well, the answer is mass number 228 and atomic number 88. So how do we come to this number? Let's understand. We have thorium whose mass number is 232 and atomic number is 90. Now it releases an alpha particle. Now alpha particle has a mass number of 4. So by how much is the mass number decreasing? By 4, isn't it? So we had 232 and mass number decreases by 4. So minus 4. So it will be 228. So new element will have mass number 228. Now what about atomic number? Let's see. In thorium, the atomic number is 90. Now when alpha particle is released, then 2 protons are released. So new atomic number will be 90 minus 2. Which is 88. So our answer is this. Mass number 228 and atomic number 88, which is nothing but radium. So when thorium undergoes alpha decay, it gives radium whose mass number is 228 and atomic number is 88. So what are the properties of alpha particles? They consist of 2 protons and 2 neutrons. They have strong ionization power and they have poor penetration power. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You can also register for free at deltastep.com to get all learning resources as per ICSE, CBSE, IB, Cambridge or any other curriculum. Over 5,000 amazing lectures across maths, science, English and social science. Our unique interactive video technology keeps you engaged and our iDictionary feature allows you to quickly revise any concept. Master each topic at your own pace with our adaptive practice technology and 1 million plus questions. Get instant answers and detailed solutions. Be exam ready by taking unlimited mock tests, performance analysis along with actionable feedback, personal tutors to resolve your slightest of doubts. That's not all. You also get amazing prizes like PlayStations, iPads, watches, and many more, along with certificates through our Earn As You Learn program. So at deltastep.com, learning is not just fun and easy, it's rewarding too. So register for free now.